never forget that night, driving as fast as I legally could to meet up with an officer. I gather my things, and all I know about the people inside is that they, like me, have a teenager. I want to rush because I want the worst part of what I do to be over, but yet I pause because I know for them, once I walk into that house, nothing will ever be the same again. The officer knocks on the door. He asks, "May we come in? And by the way, do you have a son?" And I proceed to ask if we could sit down and tell them that their 17-year-old son has been in a car accident and he is dead. These scenes aren't uncommon for me. On another shift, I will hold the hand of a domestic violence victim or a sex assault victim. I also comfort families who have found loved ones dead. I stand with families as their homes are destroyed by fire. I've worked fallen climber calls and motor vehicle accidents. I'm not called when life is happy. I'm called when it's cold and cruel. For the last 7 years, I've been a victim advocate for the Boulder County Sheriff's Department, and I'm here to tell you that I'm here for you. Hours after the funeral of a young man who was friends with my children, I was called on my first call. It too was a suicide. And I walked away from that call knowing that this was what I was meant to do with my life. There's as many reasons to be an advocate as there are advocates. Mine was my dad. He once said that the worst thing he could imagine was to be sad or scared or hurt and be alone. He died when he was 52. We were lucky. We had time to say goodbye, to prepare ourselves, as it were. Not everyone gets that opportunity. Every time I'm on call, someone's life changes forever in an instant. How do I do it? I tell myself that I didn't cause it to happen, I couldn't stop it from happening, and I can't make it go away. But I can be there. I can help you make calls to gather your support. I can be your voice with law enforcement and other first responders, and I can offer you resources to help you begin to find your new normal. I've learned that time is finite and precious. We don't all get a diagnosis or time to make a bucket list. My mother hates it when I remind her that we don't have an expiration date stamped on our ass. I've learned that our cell phones may not make it through an accident or to the hospital with us. I've learned to carry a list of my loved ones' phone numbers so my family can be notified in an emergency. I've learned that it's important to have those difficult discussions. Would you rather be buried or cremated? And that having life insurance to make those wishes happen is priceless. I've learned to be more kind and more accepting. The guy who cuts me off in traffic, maybe he just got the call that someone he loves has been hurt and he's rushing to get to them. We don't know what battle someone's fighting. Grief, trauma, loss, it's happening all around us every day. People are fighting that in this audience right now. After the death of a 7-year-old, I sat on the steps with his grandma for hours, silently holding her hands. She later told me I was the only one that day that didn't tell her what to think or feel. And after the murder of a young man, I sat with his friends, witnesses to the crime, as they, one by one, told their stories to our officers. One witness was a 16-year-old boy. He was sad and scared and traumatized. We connected as we sat on the floor that day. Later, when I met his father, he hugged me and he said that his son had told him that I was his angel on that day. No, I can't make it go away, but I can sit with you and I can hold your hand, and probably more than anything, I can remind you, even as you sit here tonight, to always love out loud.